You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog. Woo,
Woo,
woo.
woo.
As always, you guys use code GRID. Support the show if you guys are using Underdog, the app. But my name is Kinsey. I am your host. I fly helicopters and planes, so of course I can pilot these men today. Joining me, we have one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media and the man who has never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Yep.
All-Pro, six-time Pro Bowler, defensive tackle, one of the most disruptive D tackles of his generation, Gerald McCoy.
Yes, sir.
Top 5 passer in the history of the USC Trojans and California's own, our quarterback, Cody Kessler. So I woke up in a world where the Jags and the Colts are 4-1. Primetime games this season have been absolutely electric. So much is going on. So we have a lot to talk about. Of course, we have last night's game, Travis Hunter, more on the Colts, the Chiefs, what the hell is wrong with the Raiders, and so much more. So we did get some breaking news right before the show started that Flacco is going to the Bengals. So we're going to be, of course, talking about that later on in the show. But first, I want to start with a little drama because Sunday, the Cardinals' Demarcado fumbled a 70-yard touchdown. Obviously horrible. It was at the goal line. Super upsetting. But what was kind of more upsetting was he went to the sideline. He's very upset. And his coach, Jonathan Gannon, dug into him and appeared to hit him. Let's watch the clip because we're going to be talking about this. Ooh. So he actually issued, he actually issued a public apology, but I do want to talk about it. So Cody, should Gannon have apologized to Demarcado?
Cody, before you get started,
okay,
this is a great setting. It's all beautiful. Keeb, we love you.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for you to get back. But since you're not here, we got to set the scene.
Oh!
Let me move,
oh no.
and slide in Dee.
Okay.
Dang, a
Baby Gerald. Yeah. Sorry, little Leave. We got Big Gerald in the house, baby. All right, Cody, do your thing, player.
All right. I need to get one too, by the way. I got an FC one. I don't have an NFL one, so I might have to bring that next week. But look, if Gannon apologized, then obviously he felt the need to. So I'm fine with that. That's a coach going up there and being a leader. And after you wait 24 hours, you know how that is. Emotions during a game, after a game, when you watch the tape, it's never as good as you think. It's never as bad as you think. When you take those 24 hours, turn the page, move on, you reassess everything. I think that's what happened with Gannon. But I will start with this. What Demarcado did, that's inexcusable. That can't happen, especially at the NFL. You see it at high school sometimes. You see it at college. But for it to happen at the highest level, for you to drop the ball before you get to the goal line, I don't want to say he was showboating because it wasn't like he was doing anything crazy or anything wild, but you have to be a pro in that situation because if he scores right there, they go up 28-6. And you may say, okay, one play doesn't change the outcome of a game. In this case, it does.
It does.
It really does
Agreed.
because teams that have a 22-point lead or more in the fourth quarter, according to ESPN, are 1,276 to 1 in the last 25 years. That was a game-changing play that changed the outcome.
Against that team.
Against that team.
Yeah.
They're not coming back. You give them just a little bit of hope, and you let those, I want to say bad teams, but they are right now. They're struggling. You let those lesser opponents hang around, they start to think they can win. So that can't happen. That's inexcusable.
So you would have hit him too, Cody, is what you're saying.
No. Well, I'll get to that now. No, I just, again, that can't happen, especially the role that you have on that football team. It was a hell of a run. Saw the hole, broke it, took it to the house, slowed up a little bit too. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Just finish in the end zone. That was a me-first type of play instead of a team-first type of play. Finish in the end zone, then drop the ball and go celebrate. But now when it comes to what Gannon did, initially, I had to watch the video a couple times, and it's tough because we don't have sound. So I would have loved to hear what he was saying in that moment to get a little bit more context, but I was okay with the first hit. When he walked up and smacked him in the chest, and I've been there, after a pick or something happens, coach walks up, hits you in the chest, a shoulder pad, taps your helmet, hey, wake up, get your ass chewed a little bit, let's get back, let's get ready to go.
Yep.
That's how I felt it was initially. But the second hit when he was walking away, and it looked like he kind of reared back and gave him a good swing, and it knocked his headset off.
It was open-handed.
It was open-handed, but it was still forceful.
Yeah.
And that second hit to me, the first one I'm fine. Hey, wake your ass up. Don't do that shit again. Let's go.
Yeah.
That one, and you see the coach too, added context. The coach is coming over to grab him by his hip. So you know it was a little more heated, and he needed to break that up. So the second one for me, I think he could have went without, because that tells me that Gannon lost his cool a little bit. And he got a little too emotional in the moment. That's why he apologized. I don't think he apologized for the initial hit and talking to him. I think he apologized for the second one. And he went to the team and said, hey, that's on me. I've got to be better. You have to be calm in that moment. I know you're frustrated. Everyone's pissed. That's an inexcusable play. That can't happen, but you're the head coach of this football team. To me, I don't want to say hit a player, because it's not like he's over there punching him, but to let your emotions get the best of you in that moment, I think he could have been better. So, again, I don't mind the initial contact. I don't mind getting fired up on the sideline. This is a grown man sport. People's livelihoods, I mean, a lot of money's involved. Their jobs are involved. So emotions are going to be high, but you have to control yourself a little bit better if you're Gannon in that situation.
I mean, he gave him a little shove, and he's a coach. He ain't no boxer, so he ain't going to be accurate with his little hit. He probably tried to hit him on the chest as he was walking off. I don't have no issue with any of it.
Okay.
Because it was that crucial of a play. We're all adults, and you don't know their relationship. And for me, the reason I took that route of it, because something like that has happened with me before, where my coach, Joe Cullen, who's actually the coach of Chris Jones, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but my coach, Joe Cullen, one time we were playing Atlanta, and I was supposed to run a pirate where I'm in the B gap, and I'm supposed to stunt and go into the A gap, and we were on the goal line, and I didn't get into the A gap. And when we got to the sideline, coach was like, did you get in the A gap? I'm like, no, because the splits and however, blah, blah, blah. And he gets in my face, and I'm yelling at him, he yelled at me, and like we get to kind of going back and forth with a little, like, get out of my face, like, is this really what you want to do? They had to pull me back, they had to pull him back, and then the media got wind of it. It became a thing after the game. What happened, this and this? Me and Joe had already settled it, because that's our relationship. We can talk to each other like that and not take it away. His wife was like, oh my God, you and Gerald about to fight. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. They asked me, Gerald, what happened between you and Joe? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We both knew, let's downplay this, because that's our relationship. So him doing that in front of the media, I think that was a him thing. I don't think that was for the player.
You said was him apologizing?
Him apologizing.
Yeah.
I believe that was a him thing. Like, let me make sure that I look a certain way, but you handle that behind closed doors, and you get in front of the media and you say, hey, listen, we pros, we talked about it, we dealt with it, moving forward. You know, the apology, I personally feel like that was a him thing. Like, let me protect my image and how I look. I don't think that was about the kid. Like, I did too much. No, the heat is on me, so I'm going to publicly say I apologize and all this, so y'all know that I did apologize. But, nah, you know, that could be handled behind closed doors. It's just pros being pros.
So you're okay with hands-on?
Yeah, like, it's because we don't, like you said, we don't know what was said.
Yeah.
He didn't push his face. He pushed him on the pads, and he was walking off. He kind of swiped his arm. He probably meant to hit his chest like, come on, you better than that. Or we got to be better than that. And he might have just hit his shoulder, but he meant to hit his pad. You see the kid didn't react, because he know, like, who's to say that behind closed doors that's just not their relationship? We don't know. We have no idea. So when that happened, I didn't look at it like, oh, sure, you keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, it was like, come on, man, it's the heat of the moment. Yes, a head coach has to keep his cool, because you take on the identity of your head coach. So if our coach loses his cool in heated moments, then he can't fuss at us when we do it. I understand that. But I wasn't really moved by the little. It's like he did it as he was walking off. It was more of like we've seen multiple times come on, man, be better than that as you're walking past. So I wasn't, you know.
I am with you on I'm not worked up and offended by hands-on in this case. But I do think, to your point, that Gannon woke up, as he said, his quote was, I woke up this morning and didn't feel great about it, honestly. He didn't feel great about it because the NFLPA is all over it.
Yep.
And he needed to apologize for the sake of the organization, for the sake of maybe getting fined, maybe some other penalties could come down, because that's the era we live in. You guys aren't that old, but I can go back to my high school. There were times in this country when that was perfectly acceptable. Today, it's really not acceptable to put your hands on a player in any sport. But the other point, I don't know the personal relationship between the two, but Demarcado he's their third string back. I liked him at TCU because he caught my eye. I don't know if you remember, but in their national semifinal against Michigan, which they won before they got obliterated by Georgia in the championship game, torched when it's 65-7. But in the semifinal, he went for 150 yards against Jim Harbaugh's Michigan. And I think Jesse Minter there? I guess he was as the coordinator. Yeah. So that was impressive me. He caught my eye, and I thought he'd be a 4th or 5th round pick, and he didn't get drafted. So he's their third string back. It was flukish he was even in the game at that point just to rest the second string because the first string back's gone. But look, the point for Jonathan Gannon is that there's a way to deal with this for the sake of the football team, and that wasn't it. Because you can't make the kid feel any worse than he felt at that point. He's being consoled by one of the offensive linemen. I'm going to hark back to my days with Jimmy Johnson and the Dallas Cowboys. And I had my clashes with Jimmy because he clashed with everybody. But he took over that football team, replacing the great Thomas Wade Landry in Dallas, Texas, as you well know. And they broke through a year early because he created a force field unlike any I have ever experienced because he motivated by fear. That football team with 3 Hall of Famers, really 4, on their way up, they were ascending at that point, were scared to death of Jimmy Johnson. So how did he drive home his point? In that 1992 breakthrough season that you see in the current Netflix documentary, they get to the final game of the regular season with a chance to go 13-3 and clinch the second seed to the 49ers, and they were going to have to end up going to Candlestick to win the championship game, which they did. But the last game of the year is against Ditka's Chicago Bears at Texas Stadium. And they're up 27-0 going to the fourth quarter, and he takes Troy, Emmett, and Michael out of the game. They take their pads off and sit on the top of the bench, not down in the seats, but up on top of the bench because they're having a good old time because they're 13-3. Here we go into the playoffs. And what happens? The backup running back fumbles twice in the fourth quarter. A kid named Curvin Richards, a 4th-round pick out of Pitt. And Jimmy Johnson threw a fit on the sidelines at Curvin Richards. But he didn't go pop him in the stomach or pop him on the pads. He ignored him until Monday morning when he cut him. Going to the playoffs, he cuts Curvin Richards, the only backup to Emmitt Smith. And I'm like, what? Whoa. What if Emmett gets nicked? What if you need Curvin Richards for a play here or there? You got nobody. You are unprotected at backup running back because by that point you couldn't replace him on the roster. It was too late. And Jimmy got so mad during the game that he forced Troy, Emmett, and Michael to put their pads back on and go back on the football field, which is just psycho to me. But again, motivating by fear. So the move for Gannon was if you're the leader of the football team, you rise above your anger. I get the anger. You get it because it's just unacceptable what happened. Your third string back is going to drive the final nail into the Titans' coffin, and you're grandstanding and you slow up at the 3 or 4 and you lose the football before you hit the goal line. It's just not right. And the whole football team knows it's not right. And then the exclamation point was they blow the freaking game. How do you blow it? And it took crazy stuff happening. It took Cam Ward throwing an off-balance tipped interception that gets fumbled into the end zone. It's just like madness ensued. The worst-case scenario, as Kyler said, it was like 101, football 101, or how to blow a football game. But my point is, that's a cuttable, that's a fireable offense, and that's how you drive your point home. You just wake up Monday morning and just send him packing. You're okay without him. You can figure that. You can add somebody. You got plenty of time. So that's just me because there's too much touchy-feely to me going on in the National Football League letting this stuff happen. We saw A.D. Mitchell do it for the Colts at the Rams where he's grandstanding and loses the ball before the goal line. We've seen it over the years, Deshaun Jackson. It's a moment that cannot be allowed. And if he would have cut Demarcado, then it sends a message around the National Football League, hey, that's just out of bounds, man. You can't do that or you're going to lose your job. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to see, not popping him in the stomach or whatever he did. That's just me.
And that's not my issue. Isn't that Demarcado's sensitive and he got his feelings hurt or anything? My issue is that you could already tell that the kid was down, right? He obviously knew that he made a mistake. He had the offensive lineman with his arm around him. They're trying to console him. They're trying to say, hey, we're going to need you. It's okay. So I'm not mad that he came over and hit him. I don't think he physically hurt him, even if he tried to hit his arm or chest, whatever it was. I don't think it was in that sense to where I'm saying he assaulted him. Yeah. I think it was in the sense of, as a head coach in those moments, either A, say nothing and cut him on Monday. I'm fine with that. I think that is.
Hey.
Cut him.
Cody, that's the
Y'all
most
both agree to cut him?
Cut him.
If you're going to,
gone. I'm
telling you, man, that is, people's lives are on the line with this stuff. Your job is on the line. Gannon is not solidified in Arizona right now. You know, this is, his future is
so
coaching
that puts
for the
him up
Cardinals.
at what at that point? 28?
They would have put him up 28-6.
Okay.
And the game would have been over. There's no way that Tennessee comes back.
28-6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's 12:51 left
there was
in the
12
game.
12 and a half minutes left to go, base. 12:40.
Right.
12:51 left in the game. You go up 28-6. But you didn't score, so you're still up 21-6.
Yeah.
Versus a no-win team that's been playing terrible.
Terrible.
And you cut this kid because he didn't put you up an extra touchdown? What about everybody else?
Okay, but
what about everybody else that just like tricked the game over?
Yeah.
But we gonna cut him because of this one mistake. This is a young kid. He's a third string guy. He's worked his whole life to get to this point. Should he have been better in that moment? Yes. But you tell him, that's where you have that one-on-one with him and say, hey, listen, this is how you lose opportunities. I'm just so happy to not cutting you, but anybody could, at this point, you just so happen to come across somebody who didn't. You do this at this level, you lose your job. But to cut him over a mistake when all of the other stuff that took place is why they lost, that wasn't why they lost. It just would have put the game away. But that wasn't why they lost. So you going to cut him, a young guy, over a mistake?
Okay, but do you disagree the game, if he scores, it's over? Is it over?
Yeah, the game is out of reach, but it should have been out of reach anyway.
Yeah, but the problem I have...
Playing the Tennessee Titans and you got Kyler Murray at quarterback.
Okay, so you're saying, so if you don't cut him, say you don't cut him, you think, and this goes back to, and maybe this is the boring quarterback answer, but you think publicly shaming him like that on the sideline, knowing, and again, we don't know their relationship, but you've got to know how to get the most out of the player. It didn't seem like to me that Demarcado was the type of guy that's like, man, okay, yeah, I need you to yell at me, I need you to cut. You could tell he knew he made a mistake.
Right.
So I'm saying you going over there and publicly shaming him, fine. The first time hitting him on the chest, letting him know.
That's more publicly shaming than
getting cut
and losing your job?
I would way rather keep my job than take a little.
A little pat, was it too much? Oh, should he have apologized? That's the question. So that is more publicly shaming than go home. No, it's not.
I'd way rather keep my job.
This is national news because he apologized. That would have blew over. We done had a lot of stuff happen since then. He apologized, so now it's like, okay, he apologized. Should he have apologized? That's the thing. If he had cut him, now it's like, well, god dang. Like,
but what message would I send to you in the locker room if you were on that team? You'd be like, God, like this guy's serious about us.
That's fair.
Turning this thing around.
It is, but it also could send a message by not cutting him that, hey, he gonna yell at me, he gonna this and this. It might have got a little heated, but he believes that I can fix it. He believes that we all made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You can learn from this. Opposed to make a mistake, gone. That's not.
We're not talking. The issue I have, I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing. But the issue I have is that it's not like he dropped the pass or he had the ball and he got hit and they knocked the fumble out. That was a selfish play. I'm not saying Demarcado was a selfish player or person, but that was a me-first type of play, and there's no place for that in the NFL. That can't happen. And it's not like this is the first time this has ever happened. It has happened over and over and over again in the NFL. And I also think a factor in this is he's not your star running back. He's a third-string player. So the issue that I have with...
So you don't play him again?
So what? Now he just takes up a roster space and you hit him, and now it's like, all right, cool, you just killed his confidence?
Yeah, but so what message are you sending as a coach, though? Like, you said this with Jimmy Johnson, but look who's on his team. Yeah, he ran by fear, but look who's on your team. You're sitting this kid home, cut him, go home. But what about the rest of your team? There's no reason y'all should have lost that game. So now it's like You're making excuses. We going to send him home. Let's cut him. If he hadn't done that, we would have won. Okay, what about everybody else? Now he at home. What you saying to everybody else? What do you say to Kyler? What do you say to the defense? There's no reason they should have lost, period. That one touchdown would have put the game away, but it's not why they lost. Y'all giving up their lead is why y'all lost. Y'all were at home versus a team that's been terrible.
Wrong. What
did he just say about his team last week? What did Cam Ward say about his team last week?
We're ass.
Exactly. So this is a game you shouldn't have lost anyway, but you go cut him? Send him home?
Yeah, I mean, look.
That's more publicly shaming than getting a couple pats on the chest.
Okay. Well, I'm a former quarterback. I'm taking the boring answer on this. I still think, again, I don't like the first hit. I don't mind. I don't think there's any issue with that. The second one, though, where you're hitting them, headset falls off. They're already consoling him on the sideline. The coach has to come over, grab you on the hip, and say, hey, don't do that. Obviously, you felt bad enough for what you did and said the next morning, and then said, okay, I'm going to go apologize about it to the team, and then I'm going to go do it publicly. I feel like that is just way more. And again, I don't want to see anyone get cut. I want everyone to have an opportunity in the NFL. But that's way more to me than just saying, hey, you're cut. You're the third-string running back. You made a mistake. It wasn't a fumble. The ball got knocked out, and we gave you an opportunity. Okay, we can learn from that. Let's work on that next week at practice. You dropped the ball at the goal line because you wanted to start celebrating early. You slowed down, you showboated, whatever you want to call it. That, to me, is worse than making it, or cutting him, I think, is better to handle that situation than it is to just deal with everything else that's going to come with that.
Thursday Night Football 2017, Buccaneers versus Patriots. We're playing the Patriots, who ended up going to Super Bowl now. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, but this is the Patriots. They come into a Thursday night game. We're at home. We shouldn't even be in this game. We lose to them 17-13. Our kicker missed 4 kicks.
I remember it.
He got cut.
Yeah.
That's cuttable. You missed 4 kicks. We had a chance to beat the Patriots. That's cuttable because you literally are one of the main reasons we held Tom Brady, of all people, to 17 points. 17. And you missed 4 kicks. That's cuttable. Not the third-string running back who fumbled and we up 3 scores already.
You got to send a message to your locker room. That is unacceptable. Every mistake that got made after that was a mistake, what they call a commission, where you're trying to commit, you're trying to do something, and you misfire, you drop, you do whatever. This was so selfish, and it's a play that needs to get eradicated from the National Football League. And you could help for the greater good of the league to cut him because he is cuttable. Your fortunes are not going to rise and fall with Demarcado, right?
Yeah.
You can get away because James Conner's your first back, Michael Carter's your second back. You'll be okay. You'll figure this out without them. But if you want to establish new culture in Arizona, that would send a message to me like, whoa.
And that's the main point, is Jonathan Gannon right now is trying to establish a culture, and he's trying to make a statement, and he's trying to build a winning franchise and set a foundation. Okay, great.
Don't apologize.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying on that point. My disagreement is the fact that, or to Skip's point, is that, and I don't want to keep kicking the guy while he's down, but to Skip's point, he's a third-string running back. We pay you $1 million a year. Even if he's making the rookie minimum, you're making $1 million a year to do that. I can go find someone else that can be a third-string running back that's not going to commit that type of mistake. If that's your starter, and that's the reality of the NFL. If I go out in a game and I throw 3 picks, my ass is getting benched or I'm getting cut. If Tom Brady or a great quarterback or someone that's a first-round pick goes out and throws a couple picks and has a bad game, okay, we'll learn from it. We'll grow from it. The situation he's in, I can relate with. You can't afford to make those mistakes because when you have Jonathan Gannon who's trying to set a foundation and you can be replaced by another guy that we can pick up from the practice squad or go find a free agent, they can come in and be the third string back. To me, it's easier just to cut him, send a message instead of going through everything else that he went through, and now he's apologizing, and now there's unwanted attention on the Cardinals right now.
Question, as a coach, if you're a quarterback or if let's put you in the coach's seat, you just cut him.
Yeah.
Right? What are you saying to the rest of the team? Because that's not the reason we lost.
I don't.
What do you say to everybody else?
You're saying that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We don't play football that way.
It's not.
What about the rest of y'all who let them come back?
The thing I'm saying with this, Gerald, is it's not that he made a mistake. It's not like he fumbled because the ball got knocked out. It's not like he made a football play that was a mistake. like other guys did in the game to where they had a missed assignment or a missed opportunity or missed a throw or dropped the pass. This was a selfish act to where he started celebrating and dropped the ball before the goal line. This is a one-of-one. This is an outlier. It's not a within-the-play mistake where he just fumbled. If he just fumbled in the game and they said, we're cutting you, I would 100% disagree. Yeah. I would say, don't.
Agreed.
No, you're sending the wrong message. But the fact of how it happened, and you're the third-string running back, and again, I don't want to kick this kid while he's down. I hope he has a successful career, but that is, to me, something that is unacceptable. That can't be okay. Even if you slap on the chest, it's all right, we'll go forward, we'll learn from it. You have to make a statement in that situation.
You're not kicking him while he's down, but you definitely hitting him on the arm.
Yeah, Cody's like, cut him.
Man, but like, it's the NFL. You know this, man. Like, it's a grown man
wholeheartedly about the whole situation.
Yeah.
My only thing is you said don't publicly embarrass him by doing that on the sideline. But you're cool with him cutting him.
No, but if you're gonna, my point is, if you're gonna publicly embarrass him and do all that and hit him and make a scene, but then say what after? Hey, we still need you, man. It's all right. You'll bounce back. That's not what happened in that moment. In that moment, to me, it looked like publicly shamed him, hit him. That walk away wasn't, and even if we didn't have the sound, that walk away wasn't like, hey, you're good, man, we'll get it back. That was a physical, and I'm not saying the hit. Look, I'm not worried about the hit. I don't think he hurt him. I don't think he hit him, anything like that. But the fact that you did that, and then you may need him going forward, or you're going to say, all right, let's bounce back from that. Demarcado, it's all good, man. We'll learn from it. Let's just go forward with our relationship. I'm not buying that. And being the third string running back, I've been on a lot of offenses. I promise you they're not like this. It's not like an Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. It's not like a quarterback offensive coordinator relationship. That's a third string running back that you maybe talk to a couple times throughout the week, maybe get some scout team reps, might get a rep in the game. That's not a relationship to where they are cool enough to do that.
All right.
By the way, Vrabel, Sunday night, Ramondre Stevenson from University of Oklahoma, fumbles. Was it first? I think it was first quarter when he fumbled.
I think it was his first touch.
Right touch.
Everybody was fumbling.
And Vrabel goes straight over to him, and he's not happy with him, but he says, suck it. I don't know what exactly. I'm paraphrasing, but he says, keep your head up. We're going to need you the rest of the game because they need him. And they did, and he was there for Vrabel.
Yeah.
When Gannon went off, he just lost it, and it sent no message to the team because Demarcado is kind of beneath the dignity of the head coach walking back and just obliterating him, like verbally and then hitting him.
Yeah.
It didn't send the right message to the team because clearly it didn't inspire anybody because they're like, damn, he lost it. Like our coach lost it. Cutting would have sent a different message the next day. That's coach is in charge. He's in control. He's setting, it's a new day in Phoenix, Arizona, right, for our football team. All right, so real quick on the other point. The other thing that happens, I'll mention the Sunday night game. So Keon Coleman, for the second time this year, gets punished, disciplined by Sean McDermott. So he doesn't play the first series in that game on Sunday night. And that was the second time because it was game 3. He didn't play the first series. I don't know what he did. I think it's the first time he's late to a meeting. Something happened in practice this week that required discipline on Sean McDermott's part. But to me, what does it matter if you miss the first series? What message does that send to Keon Coleman? Is that really publicly humiliating? That's just dumb.
All it look on paper is he didn't start.
Yeah, that's the only thing it hurts.
What does it matter? That's what I'm talking about. Discipline, like public discipline of shaming. That doesn't shame anybody. That's not going to teach him any lesson. Oh, you didn't play the first series? And then he came back and made a couple big catches in the game.
Yeah, that situation, just give him a little fine, move on. I think, I don't agree with that.
I could have been in the locker room pooping. and missed that much time.
I'm actually
there
shocked.
You go.
Unproblematic quarterback Cody says, cut him. Skip says, cut him. But I have breaking news right now. We just found out in this moment that Jerry Jones is getting fined $250,000 for flipping off a Jets fan. So he had actually said, I'm going to read his quote, what he said about this gesture. So the gesture was inadvertent on my part because that was right after we made our last touchdown. We were all excited about it. There wasn't any antagonistic issue or anything like that. I just put up the wrong show on my hand. It was an accident. I meant for the thumbs. That's a crazy thing to say. But it got straightened out pretty quick. It wasn't my intention. It was thumbs up, basically pointing out the fans. So Jerry Jones, maybe he's old. His hands are confused. I don't know what's going on.
Don't protect that man.
Get out of here, Jerry.
Do not
Cut it
protect
out,
that
man.
Skip, are you buying Jerry's explanation?
Lord knows I have criticized Jerry Jones probably more than anybody on this planet has over these many years that I've been all over him for owning and still operating my Dallas Cowboys. But in this case, I do buy what he's saying. Because he is about to turn 83 years of age next Monday. And I know from people in that organization, they are on pins and needles every time he opens his mouth publicly, because out will come the wackiest, craziest, most unintentionally controversial statements you've ever heard. Because I usually can't even make sense of what he's saying, let alone what he's doing with his football team. So now I'm going to read again what Kinsey just read. He says, that wasn't an antagonistic issue, anything like that. I just put up the wrong show on the hand. If you want to call it accidental, call it accidental, but it got straightened out pretty quick. He said, my intention was to go thumbs up, and he went this up, obviously. And listen, he is so wacky at his advanced age. He is so unpredictably crazy in everything he does in public. I believe he could get confused between this and this.
In the moment.
In the moment, because he was smiling the whole time. It's smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was late in the game, and the stands were pretty empty, except for about half the stands were obviously Cowboy fans. So he said he was gesturing to a swarm of Cowboy fans, and this is like a weak defense of Jerry Jones, in that it's really a damning defense of Jerry Jones, that he's so over the hill, if you will, that he's just losing it. He's been losing it for about 10 years. The truth is that I think he actually got confused and put up the wrong sign to the Cowboy fans, because he was feeling good about everything. We saw a lot of positive signs in that game. I know he was feeling real good about everything. So I was surprised, to your point about fining. I thought they'd let this one slide, but I guess an owner is just a bad look for the league, and here we go.
You don't think he deserved to be fined?
I don't. I wouldn't have fined it.
So he just got so excited he turned into Ricky Bobby.
I don't know.
I just don't know what to do.
You want to go? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
By the way, I watched that again the other night. I started watching Talladega Nights.
I don't know what to do with my hand. Like, come on now. Just own it, Jerry. I think I do believe he meant to use his middle finger, because he had already put the thumbs up in the video. He had already did this. Then you switched it. I don't believe it. I believe him wholeheartedly. It wasn't at a Jets fan. I believe they were together with the Cowboys. They were celebrating, and it was a big F you to the Jets. I think he was like saying F you to the Jets. I don't think he was talking to a Jets fan. But just own it, Jerry. Like, you Jerry Jones, who cares? Like, who cares? I don't think this was come on, man, these fingers don't even operate the same. Like, they don't even function the same. Like, nah.
Skip, I know you are a diehard Cowboys fan,
I am.
but you are 100% wrong on this. And I am calling BS by Jerry Jones.
Complete BS.
2 reasons. The first one, to Gerald's point, he did 3 hand motions.
That's what I'm saying.
He went thumbs up, then he went middle finger, and then he pointed.
Then he pointed.
So
That's 3 different fingers.
What the hell he was doing.
That boy went down the line with fingers.
The thing that completely derails your case is that if you watch the video again, and I don't know if we can see it on the copy that we have, but go watch the original video. There is a Jets fan. You can't see it on this one. There's
the one from the angle, the side angle.
There's a Jets fan on the section with a green jersey on and a green hat on, and he is flipping off.
Buddy.
No, he is flipping off Jerry Jones. This Jets fan is flipping off Jerry Jones. Jerry looks right at him, flips him off back, and then points at him. So if you go back and watch the original video, it is directed towards a Jets fan. Now,
I didn't see a Jets fan, but
if you go, I promise, I don't know if we have the video
right. There was a side angle.
No, it's that same video when it's the wider angle. You can see. So you'll see a Jets fan sitting there with his hat on, right? Go back and watch it, I promise. Sitting there with his hat on. As it zooms in, you see his hand go up, and all you can see is his middle finger right at Jerry Jones. Jerry looks right at him, flips him off, and then points at him. So, to your point, just own it.
Just
it's
own
all right.
It, man. You're Jerry Jones. Nobody care.
we like
I
that,
thought
man. I don't mind it. If
But
I'm a player, I'm like,
funny.
if I'm a player, that's my owner. Like, yeah, hell yeah, man. Like, all right.
We as players interact with fans all the time.
Man.
There's a video out right now where a fan, I had just sacked Eli.
Yeah.
And a kid was like, Gerald, I'm going to do something if you touch Eli again. I turned around like, what? All right. You know, like I interact with fans all the time.
But you
So
didn't
what?
flip him off.
No, I didn't flip him off.
No.
I don't do that.
Have you ever flipped a fan?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Like I remember we were in Philly and there was a fan saying the most disrespectful stuff ever. And I'm like, and I said, dog, do you got to disrespect me to root for your team? He was like, you know what, Gerald, I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to be a good fan. I'm like, see, what's wrong with that? Like, just root for you. I'm good
Gerald,
with the
kill him with kindness.
I'm good with the heckling,
Yeah.
you know, but like we go back and forth with fans all the time. Jerry, just own it, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
Flip them off. Who cares?
I'm not advocating for Jerry Jones going around flipping off fans. Let me clear that up. But to that point, you did it. It happened. You got caught in the moment. Own it. Move on. As long as it's nothing physical, we can live with you flipping the bird to a fan. Obviously, it was an adult, too, if you can see in the video. So it's an older Jets fan. They were having a little bit of a rivalry at the end of the game.
By the way, Jerry owns the most valuable franchise in all of sports.
That's what I'm saying.
So what was it, 250,000?
grand. It's like-
I think he'll be
He pulls
okay.
it out of his wallet. It's like, oh, here you go.
You know what you
I
do?
sell you.
You apologize.
I'll sell you.
If you're Jerry Jones, what you do is you apologize, and then that next practice you go to the players and go, hell yeah, I flipped them off. And you go ahead, apologize, say your thing, but then you go hype up the team and say, hell yeah, I flipped them
He
off.
like doing interviews. You should have just gotten the interview and be like, yeah, I did it. You know what? Whatever,
I know.
man. Listen,
I would've respected that. I would've respected that.
I did
It's
it.
what I call
Y'all see how we've been playing? I was excited.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
Yeah.
man.
It's
Whatever.
what I call Charles Barkley syndrome, because Charles Barkley is at such a place and stage in his career, he can just say just about anything he wants to, and everybody says, oh, that's Barkley. And I agree with you. It would have been, oh, it's just Jerry.
Jerry,
But
yes.
but understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm actually not defending him. I'm trying to tell you he's lost it. He's that's what I'm trying to tell you, that he is capable of messing this up.
He might have lost it, but
Okay.
he knew he was
Okay.
He knew every finger. He did
Yeah.
all three of the fingers.
Yeah.
But when you say, "Oh, you're a diehard Cowboy fan," you're flipping my script, because I can't stand Jerry Jones owning and operating my football team. It's why we haven't been back to a championship game in almost 30 years. Not a Super Bowl. We haven't been to a championship game since that 95 team went to that championship. It's 30 years, and all of it, all that garbage I dump on Jerry's doorstep. He makes every call. He makes all, like, first, second, third round draft picks.
Yeah.
Jerry makes all those. Every free agent call, it's Jerry. The buck stops on Jerry's desk. So however bad they've been, you have to give the bulk of the blame to Jerry Jones, because he is the acting president / general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. And would he ever fire himself? No, he won't, because he's having too mumuch fun owning and operating the Dallas
He's having
Cowboys.
so much
So
fun.
you're not, yeah. So you're not. So what you're saying, Skip, is you're not protecting him. You really think it was just a mental lapse.
I mean, I'm actually criticizing him in my answer to you, because I'm damning him with faint praise or defense
Gotcha.
here, because I just know he's capable of mixing this up. Maybe you're right. If there's a Jets fan and he suddenly said,
Yeah.
okay, no. Okay, because he was feeling himself.
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense.
That's Ricky Bobby just saying, I don't know what to do with my hands during an interview.
Yeah, you're proving. Yeah, he knew what he was doing with his hands.
Either way, I think the league just had to send a message. You know, obviously,
remember,
an owner
Ricky
can't
Bobby
do it.
can control his hands. He just doesn't know where to put them. Like, what do I do? Because it was his first interview, right? Like, I just won a race, and do I put them up here, or do I do this, or what do I, right?
Oh, all right. Let's move on to last night's game, because that was a game, and I got
Was
to
it?
take my hat off to our man Skip Bayless over here, because the whole arena doubted the Jags last night, but not you.
I only flip because every time it works. Every time, if 4 people in a row take one team, I asked you. What's
Yeah,
the last thing I said?
yeah.
Are you going to go Kansas City? And you said, yep. And I said, then I'm flipping. I'm going to take Jacksonville. Works every time. If everybody says one thing is going to happen, the other thing will happen. It's life.
And it's the NFL. I honestly, it's live.
Let me write that down.
Right, yeah. Everybody take notes.
Put that on the shirt.
Yeah.
When you guys are betting next time on Underdog, make sure you take everything that we don't take, you take the opposite team.
Yeah.
Okay, but last night's game was crazy. Obviously, Travis Hunter had a crazy 45-yard catch. Patrick Mahomes picked off in the end zone for the pick six. Trevor Lawrence falls to the ground, gets back up and score. Chris Jones is like just resting. He's chilling. He's exhausted. So, Cody, did last night's game boil down to Trevor Lawrence outplaying Patrick Mahomes? I need your quarterback opinion right now.
Yeah, I'm going to say he did. Both quarterbacks. We got to show T-Law some love. I'm not saying that's the sole reason. He doesn't get love off. When it mattered most, Trevor Lawrence stepped up, and he made the last play when he needed to. Both quarterbacks didn't play their best. I know we can agree on that. There were some mistakes early on from Trevor Lawrence. Patrick Mahomes missed some throws. He threw an uncharacteristic pick down there at the goal line. You got to protect that. You got to see that Mike linebacker, Devin Lloyd, made a hell of a play, but you got to see that guy coming across, and you can't force that throw. You got to confirm what you see. But at the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence did enough to win the game for his football team. And I'll start with this, though. They need to clean up some of the pre-snap issues. That was very frustrating as a former quarterback watching that, trying to kill the play at the last second. And they call it can, which means you're going to the second play. Right. Yeah. But you can't do that with 7 or 8 seconds left on the play clock. That just can't happen because you have to give time for wide receivers to change their splits. You have to give time for the offensive lineman to make their call and then echo it out to the tackles. Yeah. Their pre-snap operation needs to be a little bit more clean. They had some penalties that hurt them. But overall, you're going to have some games like that to where it's not clean. And it's going to be muddy, and it's going to be, tough. And you're going to have to fight hard for that win, and everything's not going to go your way. And you're going to throw a pick, in my opinion, which was 100% a pass interference, but they got away with it, and they gave one back, and then the Chiefs go down and score right after. Yep. Those things are going to happen that are out of your control. What you focus on is control what you can control. And that's what he did on that final drive. That was one of the most exciting final drives I think I've ever watched in recent memory. I mean, it had everything that you needed. But I will say that throw that he made to Brian Thomas Jr.
Third and 7.
That is next level.
It was.
The reason that it was a great throw. It was a bad play by the DB, which the throw, I'm not discounting the throw at all.
You and the key, bro. You guys always discredit my quarterbacks, man.
No, it was right in the bucket. But
okay, well, let me explain what happened. Let me explain what happened. What happened is that the Chiefs were showing a two-man look, right? Pre-snap, it looked like it was two-man. At the snap, that free safety came down and became that hole defender. The strong safety worked back to play the middle of the field and cover one. The Jaguars had a railroad concept on, which means that you have 2 crossers underneath and you have a sit over the ball, telling me that I'm alerting that to man or to zone. That sit is for zone. If it's man-to-man, though, I have an alert outside to my star receiver that we put out there on a go route. Trevor Lawrence, at the snap, confirmed that it was now cover one with the free safety playing the whole defender. And yes, the strong safety was on that hash. He was close to the go route.
He almost got there.
But he was working away, Skip, and that's why he threw it, because he understood. You can see him find the safety and locate him at the snap, and he understood that his hips turned, and he was going back to the middle of the field. Even if he is on the hash, I can get that there. Wasn't quite a 3-ball. It was a 2-ball, a little less air, and I threw it right over the outside shoulder, which was an absolute dot. Then he comes back and throws a dime to Brown on the out route to the left side. After that, though, I started going into panic mode a little bit for the Jaguars because they get a delay of game.
False start.
And now, they get a delay of game again, trying to change the play. They're doing the same pre-snap operation. Hey, Can. He was doing a thing where he said, we're good. That was his, here we go, or hurry. We're good, said Hut. And the operation wasn't clean. So after that, they put themselves in a 3rd and 13, or 3rd and long, or whatever it was, situation.
13,
and then he throws a ball to Brian Thomas Jr. They get the pass interference, and then they get 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. That touchdown, though, by Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, come on, man.
Is the most wild
I think I could have done it.
Game-winning touchdown. Here we go.
Come on, man.
So he falls.
You watching quarterback stuff? I was watching the D-line. I'm telling you, as a defensive lineman, and I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm
I'm good. I mean, just the fact that he found a way to come back after it felt like when the Chiefs go down and score, the game might have been over. A drive like that changes your season. It changes your culture. It sets a foundation. It puts a belief in Trevor Lawrence to now I know that he can go out there against the Chiefs, against the big dogs, and I can go out there and I can win this game. And we believe in 16 that he can go get it done. That was a huge moment for him. As crazy as that drive was, as a fluke as a touchdown that was, he fell over, got up, went and scored. That drive right there single-handedly, in my opinion, changed the Liam Cohen era, and it's going to set a standard and a foundation going forward for the Jaguars.
Yeah, he played great, but you didn't answer the question. Last night's
Yeah, he
game,
did.
boiled
It
down
was
to
first line.
Look,
He
he
said
outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Cody
He
said
outplayed
yes.
him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, you said that he made the plays necessary we need to make them. Did Patrick Mahomes not do the same? They got listen. Listen.
You want me to answer? Or you want?
Listen.
All right, go ahead.
When they started that last drive, that they had the long drive
Yeah.
on a 13-yard line, they drove all the way down the field and got points. Okay, they end up scoring. When they got the ball back, what happened? Kickoff, penalty.
Yeah.
It was already on the past the 30. Penalty. Then what happens the next play? Throws the pass, right? He throws the pass, gets knocked down. What happened the very next play? Did he throw the ball correctly to Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, Brown.
If Hollywood Brown catches that, he's running for another 20 yards, field goal range.
I think that safety could have made a play, but
Nah, no way.
but you're living in a woulda, coulda, shoulda world right now.
Okay. You said Trevor Lawrence got it done. Not. Did he outplay Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
No, he did not.
Yes.
No, he did not. You know how I know? Okay, Trevor Lawrence reached the ball across the end zone, got knocked out. Did that lead to points? Because we could talk about the pick six all day. Did that lead to points? Yes, it did.
I said both guys had adversity. They had to overcome
Which
it.
one?
Both,
Okay,
it wasn't a
he
pretty
threw
game.
the pick six, and it was a pick six,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence threw a pick. They scored on that.
Contact.
But
What
that
happened?
pick
No.
could've
What
been a
happened on that?
PI.
Though?
I thought that was
I don't
PI.
care
No,
whether we agree or
be
not. What
unbiased.
happened?
You
What
think-
happened?
So you don't think that was a pass?
I don't care about
I
that.
think
We're
it was
talking about
PI.
what actually happened.
That's context of the game, though.
What happened?
I feel like you're adding more to my point to the fact that he threw an interception in that moment and still overcame that and had a game-winning drive.
That doesn't mean he outplayed him. That means they had penalties, untimely penalties, in the defense, which I was watching the D-line. Trevor Lawrence kept escaping. Okay, he kept escaping.
Two
You can't
rushing
say
touchdowns.
he outplayed him
Two rushing
because he
touchdowns.
did what was necessary. He didn't outplay him. He had more yards. He wasn't more accurate. He didn't have more rush yards. Oh, wait a minute. You said he outplayed him. What's the QBRs?
Oh,
What's the QBRs?
QBR loves Patrick Mahomes.
Who had a higher? No, I don't hear that. I don't hear that.
It's always ridiculous.
You
Hey,
love
that-
QBR.
I don't need
Who
some
had-
rating system to tell me who played well
No, he
in that
agreed
game.
with you. So I'm saying, who had a higher QBR?
78-54 in favor of Patrick Mahomes.
All
But-
right,
but I-
so you
but
can't say
again,
he outplayed him.
but-
They said did it boil down to him outplaying him?
QBR takes into fact penalties. They
do.
take into fact how tough the defense is that
Who
you're
had more
playing.
penalties?
They take into
Who had more
situations.
penalties?
Not on Patrick Mahomes, though. That doesn't take into effect the kickoff
Did he
return. It takes into effect.
outplay him? Did it boil down to him outplaying him? No,
I
it
am
boiled down
giving
to Trevor Lawrence
this
getting the job
game.
done.
Trevor Lawrence outplayed. He went toe-to-toe with Patrick
Going
Mahomes.
toe-to-toe don't mean you outplayed him. You're
think
not
he
going to
did.
sit here and watch see Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Patrick Mahomes had a how long drive? A 90-yard drive, a 99-yard drive, right? When they fumbled, they had the ball on the one. They scored. That's a 99-yard drive.
Okay.
They got the ball to go score to win the game on the 13. They drove all the way down and scored on the final drive. He threw the pass necessary that Hollywood Brown didn't get his head around. If he catches that, they're in field goal range, and we having a completely different story. So you can't say he outplayed him.
You can't ignore the pick six, though. You're going right over that.
Okay,
That was
Trevor
points
Lawrence
in
turned
that
the ball
game.
over twice and led to points. 1 touchdown versus 2.
Man, that second
but
one, though.
Cody is arguing that the PI.
Context matters, though. That is a missed
I
call.
love the context,
That was a
but they
missed
didn't
call.
call it.
They didn't.
They didn't
But-
call the play.
but I don't think that's
They
on
didn't call the
Trevor
In the
play.
game, it doesn't matter. When we're talking right here, it absolutely matters. That
It
is a
don't matter
factor in
'cause
that
they
game.
didn't call it. They didn't call it.
Okay,
call it.
Mr. Defensive Lineman.
Break the tie,
Yes.
Skip. Break
How
the tie.
much pressure was on Patrick Mahomes last night all freaking night long? How much pressure was generated by the Jags pass rush on Patrick Mahomes? Big zeros.
0 sacks.
Big zeros. I was out of my mind. Blitz him. They blitzed him twice in the
Who
first
fought it?
quarter, and it
That's
actually
Mahomes'
worked for
fault.
Mahomes.
That's
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes' fault, or that's
Okay, he's standing and he's standing and he's looking and he's looking. I'm saying, somebody put a little pressure on him. The throw of the night, if not the year, was the down the chimney throw on 3rd and 7 from Trevor
Absolutely.
Lawrence.
I agree.
Okay, and there is a rusher in his face.
Yep.
He had to throw it completely fall away off his back foot, where it's almost a blind throw. I'm not sure he could see clearly where it was going. He estimated where he thought he was. And I get all the concept, but it ends up looking like double coverage to me because both of them have a chance. And maybe the underneath DB does not find the football, but Patrick got away with an early throw to Thornton okay, where Patrick did for once have a rusher is on one of their blitzes, and he just throws it up for grabs, and Thornton comes all the way back 10 yards to catch it.
The cover zero with the droppers.
It was cover zero. There's and I'm like, just turn. How many DBs on way underthrown balls, they just can't find the football? I'm saying just turn your head and find it because it's interceptable, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So to me, Trevor Lawrence showed me things with his legs I haven't seen as a pro football player. I saw it at Clemson, but they don't utilize his legs until last night. He's just saying, I'm going to take this game into my hands. I'm going to do it my way. Yep. And he rushed 10 times for 54 yards. And then on the pivotal score of the game, he clearly falls down twice. We need to discuss Chris Jones because he just quits on the play because he thinks he's not involved. There are actually two other defensive linemen maybe it was Bolton, a linebacker coming, but because Trevor Lawrence falls twice, I think they hesitate because they think he's down.
They thought
like
he was down,
like in your human instinct is everybody protects the quarterback, so is he down? Is he down? Nobody's touched him yet.
You don't have to wonder.
You pull up a little bit.
Joe Cullen,
I
talked to this morning. They did think he was down.
Okay.
They thought he was down. That's why you seen everybody
they
like
they
thought. I'm just saying you can continue. I don't agree with stopping. I'm just saying so you don't have to wonder.
It's a little.
They did think he was down.
Okay. You could just see a little hesitation.
Can't stop them.
Trevor Lawrence is a stud athlete, man.
Yeah.
What is he? 6'6", 250-ish.
Yeah, he's big.
He's about 230. Yeah, but
he's big.
He's big.
Maybe he's 235 or something like that.
But
but he can move.
215.
If he okay, all right.
215. No, he's not 215. He's probably about
definitely 215.
220,
You see him in person?
230.
Google says 215.
Okay.
Hey,
that's when he
Believe
came out of
everything
Clemson.
on the internet.
After he had his birthday last night, and he was eating a lot of cake on ESPN. Right. By the end of the night, he was 250, right? But the point was, Emina, is lined up at the right end, and he loops, and weirdly, he gets blocked for a second, then it looks like he's going to get free, and the left guard has nobody to block, and comes over and just blindsides and pancakes.
That's what I'm saying, the defensive lineman.
I know, but he gets knocked on his ass, man.
Yeah, he did.
And all of a sudden, there's a highway over here, and Trevor Lawrence gets up, and he's looking.
He broke a tackle, too. He did break a tackle.
Somebody came from behind and tried to hold.
We're counting that.
But it's like, he's a big boy, man.
Yeah.
And once he gets rolling, it's hard to stop him. The other touchdown run, it took my breath away. I didn't know that he could do that.
I love what he did. I would be wrong to say that Trevor didn't do what was necessary because he balled. Like that last drive, that was. Man. It don't get no better than that.
And we've seen. My point is, we've seen Patrick Mahomes do that a million times. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence hasn't done that consistently. That was a big thing for him.
No, that was what he did was phenomenal.
Yes.
But she said it boiled down to him outplaying Patrick Mahomes. I don't feel like he outplayed him. What I feel like happened is they had too many penalties. They were very untimely.
They did have a lot.
And I love my coach and the D-line, but a lot of that was on the D-line. You know about rush lanes. Yep. When you have a quarterback that can run, we have rules as pass rushers. You cannot just rush freely. And if you go back, there was a clip of the camera flashing to Chris Jones holding up the Surface or whatever, Microsoft Surface I think they use, and he's pointing to the D-line. There's way too many times where they were out of their rush lanes. That final play, Charles Omenihu is the right end. On the goal line, you have speed to power is where it's basically a bull rush where you have to collapse the pocket, but you have to keep him in the pocket. He made an inside move into the B gap. You can't do that because that's why the guard was able to hit him. He just
nailed him, man.
He wouldn't have been able to do that if he stayed outside. Yeah. So when that happens, now he's on the ground. Now he has an escape. Chris thought the play was over, but I don't care what you were thinking. That looks horrible. That looks terrible on film. Who cares what you were thinking? Once you seen him get up, take off running.
Okay.
You can't just
Can you defend Chris Jones on just standing and watching?
No, I'm not defending him.
Yeah.
I'm saying it looks that's
what he's
terrible.
saying. Yeah, he's
I'm saying
no,
once you
that's
see him get
Right.
up, you get back.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear a whistle. If you don't hear a whistle,
because
you're playing.
You might have thought he was down.
Yeah.
No whistle.
Yeah.
Once he get up and kick, this is what they tell us in the building, and you know this. Finish the play and let them figure it out afterwards.
Absolutely.
So you go hit him, go figure it out, and then it was like, oh, I didn't hear the whistle. Oh, well, shoot, I wasn't gonna give him a chance. That can't happen because look at the momentum it gives you, and then the untimed, like Charles Omenihu went inside, he got hit, got knocked over. It's not a good look.
That right there too, because I've had that happen to me too many times. Getting stepped on and falling in a game is by far the worst feeling as a quarterback. It really is. It doesn't hurt, but you fall down, and now it feels like the play's over. So to Chris Jones, not defending him, but normally when that happens, especially in practice, we blow the whistle. Hey, play's over.
But you're the highest paid defensive.
You are.
No, I'm not defending him, but I'm saying normally when that happens, you're taught as a quarterback, protect the ball, stay down, especially when it's first down. Stay down, protect the ball, let him come touch you. Or because when you get up, I've seen guys try to get up.
No timeouts. The clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And to your point, the pick six, they asked Patrick Mahomes about it, and he said the week prior, they ran the same thing versus Cincinnati, but they actually blitzed. When they showed the same look, he actually checked out of what they were in because he thought he had the receiver. That was just that was a Picasso by the backer. He timed it up perfect, and he dropped out at the perfect time. He just caught Patrick Mahomes off guard, man.
He's done that to a lot of people.
Yeah. He's playing
some great football.
The other thing, too, with all this, let's not forget, the Jaguars spotted the Chiefs 14 points to start this game, too. They were down 14-0 and still came back. So, no, when we look at the numbers and the stats and all of that, on paper, did Trevor Lawrence outplay Patrick Mahomes? QBR, all that? No. But what it meant to that organization in that moment, we've seen Mahomes do that a million times. For Trevor Lawrence to go out and perform like he did in that game, yes, I am confident in saying he outplayed Patrick Mahomes on a Monday night stage with everybody watching to set the culture and the foundation for Liam Cohen and that team going forward. I think he did outplay him.
So who threw the worst interception of the night? Patrick or Trevor?
Oh,
Patrick.
It's by far, right?
Yeah, for sure. You can't, like that throw, and then they got to get him on the ground. They had like 3 chances. You got to get him on the ground. Just get him on the ground.
Okay, but on Trevor's interception, he's doing this. First, I thought he was showing up the receiver until I see the replay, and Parker Washington just gets knocked down.
Yeah.
It's like blatant pass interference, and it should not have been an interception to start with.
It happens.
It was incidental. Like he didn't do it on purpose, but it's still
but
foul.
You just have to
within
throw
the rules.
Flag, man.
100% that is a pass interference. You got to call that every time.
Oh, come on.
So.
Well, yeah, I love the life in the Jags organization right now. I'm excited for them, obviously, 4-1. Let's talk about their draft pick, Travis Hunter. He had his best game on offense so far, catching 3 passes thrown to them. That was the only passes thrown to him for 64 yards. So he's only played 39% of snaps on defense. So that's kind of what he's been averaging all season in the arena. We've been really asking for that to tick up. So, Skip, are the Jags using Travis Hunter correctly?
Nope. Again, nope. He is a rarely gifted cornerback.
Yeah.
You can't find those cornerbacks. He's maybe not quite Dion, but he's up there in the second echelon with all the others you want to throw in, the Revises and the Champs and the whoever else you want to put. He's in that realm already. But as Aqib will say again and again on this show, we do miss you. Hope you see you back next Thursday. As Aqib says, at corner, you have to get into the flow of the game. You have to get your corner legs underneath you and get the rhythm of the game. You get the rhythm of the receivers you're covering. If you're going to take their best and you're going to travel with him, whatever you're going to do, you have to start to mirror him and figure him out. You can't get thrown in and out of the game. He plays 25 total snaps on defense last night to 39 on offense. On defense, that's, as you point out, 39%. It's not enough. I talked to Dion before the draft. I know him well, and he said I would use him in pro football exactly the way we used him in college football. At Colorado last year, he played a ton of snaps because he's rare. He played last year at Colorado 714 offensive snaps to 748 on defense. That's 87% on offense to 83% on defense. Deion said he's fully capable, and then Troy Aikman said last night on the telecast, he had talked to Deion before the game, and that Deion said this kid likes three things. He likes football, he likes video games, and he likes fishing. And then Troy added, in no particular order. Well, this is what Deion will tell you, that Travis isn't driven to play football. It comes so naturally to him that he just has fun playing it, but you have to keep him engaged. You don't want his mind to wander because you're barely playing him on defense and then he plays a little bit of offense. You want to keep his interest level high on both sides of the ball. And he's capable of doing this because he's a spectacular athlete. And we saw the one circus catch that he made last night on the deeper ball, and then we saw him make two Jags miss on the little underneath ball.
We saw that catch.
Okay, all right. And again, we know he can do that, but so can Brian Thomas. So can a bunch of receivers.
Thank
so can
you,
Washington.
Thank you,
You're saying, Skip, you're saying that catch he made, the 44-yarder, you're saying a bunch of guys can do that.
Yes, a bunch of
Brian
guys
Thomas can do that. No, not a bunch.
Can, man.
Okay, continue. Go ahead. I'll wait for mine.
You're going next. Don't worry.
Okay, so the point is that they're wasting him at cornerback, because I'm looking at the snaps. There were 2 games in a row. It was the second and third game where they actually played him a little more on defense. They played him 62% and 68%. He should play every snap on defense, every game, every snap, and then work in at receiver if you want to do 50%. But Deion would say 70%. It's hard to practice him on offense, so it's hard to get the rhythm and the timing down with the quarterback. But Deion did it in 95 and 96 with the Cowboys. He is such a rare ball athlete where if the ball's up, it's just his on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
He'll go get it.
Yeah.
And you have to utilize his gift on defense because it's rarer than his gift on offense. You want to go?
No, go ahead, Cody.
I know I'm already. I know
Cody's
everyone's going to
excited.
disagree.
Let's see.
When I seen that catch last night, I was like, Cody gone. Here Cody goes.
Hey, first thing I wrote down in my notes. I'll start with this, though. I respect Deion. He's one of the all-time greats. I respect Travis Hunter. He's one of one. He's a phenomenal football player. I don't know if he could do what he did in college in the NFL, because you're playing 17 games. You're playing you're playing grown men. It's a lot on your body. That's not even counting the playoffs and the preseason and fall camp. I'm not saying he's not capable, but that would be extremely tough, especially for a rookie, both physically and mentally, to get through an entire NFL season playing 80+% of the snaps on both sides of the football. But with that being said, what I think the Jags should do, and I'll die on this hill, man. I think they need to put them on offense. They really do. Or at least just give them a couple games on offense.
And no defense?
And no defense. Play primarily offense.
Boy, that is
the
all-time
offense
waste.
you talking.
I know, but so to your point, Skip, you're saying, and Akeem said, I'm glad Akeem's not, I miss him, wish he was here, but I know I'd be 3-on-1 in this one.
Right now.
But to your guys' point, when you say, it's not as easy as it sounds, when you say let them play defense and give them some packages on offense, that is so tough if I'm Trevor Lawrence to go out in a game when we're getting a couple reps at practice to say this is a third and crucial situation, or red zone like you guys were saying last week, to where I go, I'm going to trust that Travis Hunter is going to be where he needs to be, even though we've only ran this maybe 2 or 3 times this week at practice. Because in practice weeks, you only get a couple amount of plays per period. You don't sit there and go, hey, let's run this same play 20 times over and over so that we have it. No. We got a whole other game plan we have to worry about. But going back to that catch, not everybody in the NFL can do that.
Was it a great route?
Yeah, he was open.
Was it a great route?
It was an improvised route. He ran it deep over.
No. Was it a great route? That's the simple question. Yes or no? Was it a great route?
Yes,
or
he was open.
Just run?
He was open.
Was it a great route?
Yeah. What do you define great route? He was open. He had the corner beat deep and the safety was on his back hip.
Shift this guy over and then get open. No, he didn't.
He beat him with speed. How's that a bad thing? He beat him with speed, and he won. He had 2 defenders on him.
It's not other fast receivers in the league.
Anyways, okay.
Anyway.
No, but that's part. Yeah, I'm not saying other guys can't get open. That wasn't even part of my argument. It was the route. Part of my argument was the fact that he was running full speed, had both defenders beat, Trevor Lawrence underthrew him, and it was a hell of a throw. He had to run up. He had pressure in his face. I'm not saying it should have been perfect, but he underthrows him, and he has the body control to stop, turn around, make that catch underneath him, had the DB taking out his legs, the other one going over the top. His left hand slightly came off the football too, and he still controlled the ball through the ground.
He did.
That is, I don't care what anybody says, there's not a lot of guys that can do that in the NFL. There is a small set of guys that can do that in the NFL, and that's how good Travis Hunter is on offense. On top of that, even with the underneath catches, he had one in the game on the right side, caught a little underneath route.
Did.
Made 99% of the NFL, 98% of the NFL, receivers are getting tackled right there for 2 yards. He makes 2 guys miss and picks up 12, and then has another explosive play on a short pass. He is too dangerous with the football in his hand to only use him for 50% of the snaps on offense and then throw him in a little bit on defense
but
as well.
Before this game, what did you see from Travis Hunter?
Same thing.
4 games, I saw almost nothing.
He was.
Wait, what are you saying? From
Travis Hunter on offense for the 4 games before the 5th.
he's not getting opportunities. He had 13 catches.
I saw nothing.
But that's what I'm saying is they're not giving him opportunities.
And I hear what you say.
He's playing 50% of the snaps.
He played 39 snaps on offense.
Yes, 39 on offense, 25 on defense.
He was third in targets.
But he had 3 targets and he caught all 3 of them though.
He was third in targets.
Okay.
So if you're third in targets, what he did last night, freaking incredible.
Okay.
Caught the ball, explosive. Make you miss, get a first down.
Yep.
What happened the next play? They took him out.
Yeah, they did the same thing on defense too,
did.
though.
Okay,
They take him out.
Thank you.
He
You're
played
proving
2
my
snaps
point.
on defense.
You're
and then
making my point.
He started the game
You're
on defense.
about to make
2
my
snaps.
point. Be cautious. You're about to make my point. They took him out.
Be cautious.
All right.
What happened after the big catch? They took him out. What me and Keeve and Skip is saying is he could play defense all game and do what he did last night. Nothing changes. They are not being creative enough to draw it up. If you go back and watch, you study the game. Study the game.
Yes.
He was a part of the offense. They kept sending, who was they sending in motion most of the night? Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
He can do that and still play all the snaps on defense. What he gave them last night, 3 catches for, was it 64 yards? The big catch, whatever. That's because he's so skilled. He's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen, definitely now in the NFL. But what he can be on defense, you can maximize who he is, because if you're not targeting him or drawing it up for him, then what are we doing here? So he has that great of a play. I'm watching it. I'm texting all my boys like, this kid is special. He caught that pass, shift him, go get a first down.
Yes.
And then you took him out. I can leave you on defense the whole game and have you do that. I can leave you on defense the whole game and have you run the route he ran, because I know once I get the ball, I need Travis here.
So you think you can leave him on defense the whole game and still play 39 snaps of offense?
You don't need him for 39 snaps of offense.
So you're saying just play, okay.
You can play defense the whole time and get the production you got last night. That's what I'm saying.
But if you see those type of plays on offense, doesn't that make you think, I need more of that? Let's get the football in his hands.
No,
He is
it makes
too
me
dangerous
think we can get this every game and he can maximize on defense. Because what he did last night, you can still get that every game, because it's not like he's doing this and they're trying to find him on offense. They're not trying to find him. He was third in targets last night.
But if you take away 39 snaps, if you lessen that, and he only had 3 targets and 39 snaps, he's not going to get the same amount of production.
What's my man who had the touchdown?
They're going to
Parker Washington.
Yeah.
They targeted him. They could have did that with Travis. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be a 100% defensive player, because you brought up, well, there's things they put in on offense that on these plays that he needs to. On defense, there's checks. Like, we watched one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history, arguably the greatest play in Super Bowl history, the pick. When Russell Wilson threw the pick.
Malcolm Butler.
That was something that was fixed on a Friday in practice. Those things like that, you can't miss out on.
And the same thing applies to offense, though.
No, because on offense, you can use him these couple ways.
But the thing I'm telling you, Gerald,
last night.
But you can run one route from the slot, and you know this. It can be cover 2, cover 4, cover 6, cover 3, or man.
And it's all different.
Your route will be different based on you either need to take the middle, you need to work vertical, you need to expect back shoulder. On option routes, I need you to break out, I need you to sit, I need you to cross face. There's so many things within the offense.
If you are a consistent wide receiver, but what he did, the point I'm making is, what he did last night, you can be a DB 100% of the time and do that. The route he caught, He caught a short little pass. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you in. We're going to give you the ball, make something happen. Come back out. We'll see you on defense, or we might get you back in on offense. Run that same route he ran. Throw it up to him. He down there somewhere. Here, go make a play.
I agree.
He catch the ball, take him out. That's what they doing anyway.
Yeah, but you know what?
They're doing it anyway.
What Travis Hunter would do for that offense, because then that would give more targets or take less pressure off of Brian Thomas Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Every great number 1 wide receiver in the league, I promise you, has a damn good number 2 or a 1B.
Number 2. I agree.
You need one. And I like Brown. I think De'Ami Brown's a good player. I think they have some other Parker Washington. They have some guys on that roster that can step up. Their tight end who went out yesterday.
He did.
Been
Strange.
Been really good for them this year. But if you put Travis Hunter in that offense with Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
And let me clarify this.
Different spots.
Let me clarify this.
You seen them at the backfield when they did the split backs. That's what I'm saying.
You're telling me that doesn't put stress on the defense, and you're not thinking when Travis Hunter comes in,
do that.
I guarantee you the defense. Hey, 12 alert, 12's in, 12's in.
You know, we call that gadget guy.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But that makes you think. You're already proving my point right there. That makes you think more. He's on the field. We got to worry about him.
If he's on the field consistently,
then
now
you have
we just play our defense.
No, but then you game plan against him and Brian Thomas Jr. You have 2 legit pass catchers on that side of the football that puts more stress on your defense. And they got to get the run game going. That's another factor. And Trevor Lawrence can't be the leading rusher. Patrick Mahomes too. But outside of that, in the pass game, if you have a Brian Thomas Jr. and a Travis Hunter that plays every snap, that is going to put so much more stress on a defense than him coming in and go, hey, gadget play for 1 or 2, and then he's coming right back out. Let me ask you this,
so
too.
Was he going to give you 64 yards doing that? Because that's what he did yesterday.
And that was his best day.
On 39 snaps, imagine if they have 68 snaps, I think, on offense. Imagine if he plays 60 of those. And then you get 120 yards. And then you get 130 yards. And then Brian Thomas eats one game because they're focused on Travis. And now the pass game's getting a little bit better. And you know, again, they're 4-1, so I'm not saying anything bad about the Jaguars. But to the question, I will die on that hill. I think they need to try him out on offense first. Give him 2 or 3 games of 100% offense, and then go from there and see what the production looks like. And then after that, if you want to try 100% defense, do that. But the way they're using him right now, for how good of a talent he is, I don't think they're maximizing his potential.
If he's playing 100% offense, now you got to prioritize getting him the ball.
Or you just put him in the game plan as your X or Z, and then you work him the football when he's open. And they're going to I promise you there's going to be times they're still going to focus on Brian Thomas Jr. He's going to be their primary concern, and then that's when you get one-on-ones with Travis. And then that's when you get on some of those crossers.
Well, the reason I'm asking you, the reason I asked you was that a great route is because he threw it up to him. It was like a effort. He down there,
but he
underthrew it. So he had to go make a play. It's not like he out here routing people up, and he just, I'm open, you're not getting me the ball. That's not what's happening.
He can do that,
Every time he's catching the ball, it's a quick little route, catch it, make something happen. You can play corner all game and go do that. You can do that.
A lot of Travis Hunter film in Colorado. He can absolutely route anybody up. He can run every route in the route tree. His route running is smooth. He understands defenses. He understands concepts. He understands spacing. He has very strong hands. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Strong hands. He is an elite talent at wide receiver. I know you guys keep saying there's a ton of those guys in the league. There's really not. There's a handful of guys that are premier playmakers on the outside, and then there's a lot of really good number 2s and really good second-tier wide receivers. Travis Hunter, in my opinion, is not in that category. He jumps up into that top tier.
So out of the number 2s in the league, how many number 2s could have did what he did? Jump up and make that catch.
And that, not a lot. I'm telling you, right, that catch, you guys are not giving that credit or catch that credit it deserves.
But what I'm saying is he just threw it up and he said it's a 50-50 ball. Go get it. How many number 2s can do that? A bunch.
No. I disagree. Yeah. I've seen a lot of guys not be able to make that catch. I've seen a lot of guys not be able to make easier catches than that one when they're open and they're struggling with some of the
Okay, Cody,
contested
do you
catches.
think Travis Hunter can make a Pro Bowl at cornerback in this league?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he can make lots of Pro Bowls.
Yes.
Like he could be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate at cornerback. That's how rare he is at that position. He's better at that position than he is at this position, and you can't find this guy. Look at what Patrick Surtain is doing for Denver right now. He's changing their life.
So it's because of his instinct.
Yeah.
You can't teach that part. You remember the pick, and y'all find this. Remember the interception he had versus TCU?
Do I?
He was covering.
the wheel route
he
to the
came
back.
off and made it. That's what I'm saying. That's that's different.
Listen, I don't want this to get lost in everything. I think Travis Hunter is a damn good cornerback. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he wouldn't flourish if he plays in DB. And to your point, I said that in the pre-draft process. He has a cheat sheet at all times.
Yeah.
He's inside the mind of a wide receiver. He knows when I'm outside leverage or I'm at the top of the numbers, okay, 90% of the time it's an in-breaking route. I know when he lines up with this spacing, things like that. Same thing on offense, though. I know when a DB's inside leverage. I know when they make these calls. I know what coverage looks like. So he has a cheat sheet at all times. And I'm not saying he wouldn't be a great defensive player, but I think he's just too explosive and dangerous with the ball in his hands to not be out there playing wide receiver.
Well, again, I feel strongly both ways. Like I agree with your point, and you should agree with ours, which means he can do both. I said from the start, he will revolutionize the National Football League on both sides of the ball because he's going to be the first modern era two-way player to make Pro Bowls on both sides of the ball. He will do that.
And I agree, Skip, but they tried that. It felt like they went 45 snaps the first game. Then they go 81 snaps the second game, 79 the third game. Then they drop him all the way back down to 45. And against San Francisco, didn't play one defensive snap, I think, after the second series or in
he
three
played
quarters.
9 total.
So my question is...
So he played offense the whole time in San Fran?
Not the whole time, but he played a lot more on offense than he did on defense.
But
38 to 9.
Yeah, 38 to 9.
38 to 9. How'd they
38
go?
snaps to 9.
How'd they go?
Yeah, I mean, he had a great catch on that last drive, the cover 2 shot that he went over the middle and made an unreal catch.
Okay, so last night he had one pass defense. They put him on Travis Kelce. It was a third down play.
Yep.
You can say that's smart because that's the obvious place that Mahomes is going to go with the football.
Yeah.
I thought Travis should have caught it. It sort of hit him up here. But I'm watching
Travis Kelce,
Travis
you're
Kelce.
saying.
Yeah. But I'm looking at Travis Hunter losing interest on defense. Because I can just tell when they're pulling him out of the game during series on defense, where he plays a couple plays.
I agree.
I think we all agree they're not.
We all agree.
Right.
We just disagree on which side of the ball.
I think it's just me. What's the most dependent position in sports?
It's wide receiver.
He has to get the ball in order to do that. At corner, I can do my thing. I'm out here.
Yeah.
I'm out here. I don't need y'all to do nothing for me to be like this. Because I can lock him down and take this whole side of the field away.
You can.
Because I don't need you. Now, I need y'all I need y'all to rush. But in order to do my job, I have to do my job. As a wide receiver, I need you to do your job so I can get the ball and show y'all what I can do. And that's why he should be a corner. Because he doesn't need the quarterback to maximize who he is at that point.
So you're saying that a corner is more important than a wide receiver in the NFL right now?
Yeah.
It's a harder position to play.
So
the hardest position
why
in
do
football.
we pay wide receivers significantly more than they pay corners?
I never give my opinion, but I actually agree with the boys because if the Jags wanted a wide receiver, right, they traded up for Travis Hunter. They could have taken Tet. They could have taken Emeka Buka. Look at their numbers. 351 yards for Tet, 444 yards for Emeka. If they wanted a wide receiver out of Travis Hunter, why did they trade up for him? He needs to be playing corner.
But the context, no, Kinsey, and that's a great point.
Yeah.
But the context with that is Tet and Ibuka, they're not playing defense. They're playing 100% on offense. My whole point
I
is
do think Travis should be on defense primarily, barely on offense. That's my opinion.
If you put Travis Hunter 100% on offense, I guarantee you he would have the same exact production. I don't want to take away. I don't want to take away from Ibuka right now.
I saw 4 games before yesterday. I saw 4 games.
That other guy's over there, Brian.
Oh, you're talking about Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, he's over there.
Yeah,
Come on now.
He's still going to get the football. He's still going to have. I mean, we saw what he does with the small sample size.
He has to get the
football. Let me ask you this, and why do you think it's a Liam Cohen-based thing? Why are they putting him so much more on offense than they are on defense? If they think that he could be better on defense.
The head coach is an offensive guy.
You think that's the only reason?
Yes.
We don't agree with it.
The head coach overrides everything. I'm the guy. Look at what I just did with Baker in that offense. They couldn't run the ball, and then they ran the ball. Look at what I did. They hired me because they said, "Look at what he did with Baker. We didn't do."
But to your point, if he's an offensive-minded coach, wouldn't you think he'd understand that? All right, play all defense, and then I'll use you on packages on offense because we can still get the same production.
I'm saying
he's not showing. He's not doing that.
Exactly. I'm saying we all saying he's doing it wrong.
Okay.
And last night, what he did, he can do that. With how many times you got targeted? 3.
3 targets, 3 catches.
Okay, I can target you 3 times, 3 to 5 times every game. Go lock somebody down over there.
Yeah.
I can do that every game and get that. Because all I got, you said, he's rare. Can't nobody make them catches. All right, since can't nobody make them catches, I need you to go do one of them every game.
I'm not saying nobody can make those catches. I'm saying
you just said it's rare.
It is rare.
So let me use your rare.
There's not a lot of guys that can have that body control and that concentration.
Rare means minimal, right? Like it not mean people that
those ball skills.
This okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to use that rarity.
Use rare.
3 to 5.
Okay, I think we all agree.
Yeah, I got to tell Cody to end this. That hill you're standing on, it's getting lonely over there.
Hey, you definitely going to dive there because somebody going to...
I'll tell you.
Hey, there's no food, there's no water, there's just
nothing.
You're just standing over. I think you don't even have any clothes on anymore. You're just naked on
right now.
As long as you know you're dying up there, Cody.
I'm telling you right now, just wait. If he starts making some more catches like that and proving my point, I'm
I don't want to wait. I hope they just change him to defense.
Give that man the football.
Okay, we all agree that they're not using Travis Hunter the right way. Let's move on. So for this week's Sunday night football game, we have got the 4-1 Lions at the 2-3 Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions are on a 4-game win streak. So, Gerald, is Sunday night versus the Lions a must-win for the Chiefs?
Yeah, it is. The Chiefs, it's because of where they're at. And, like, if you look at who they're behind, obviously they're behind the Colts, the Bills, and all these other teams. But to get in the playoffs, as a team, the first thing you want to start with is your division. Okay? In the division, over the next few weeks, the Broncos have the Jets, the Giants, unfortunately Skip, and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're going to be favored in all of those.
Yeah.
I think we all believe the Broncos can beat all three of them. So losing Sunday won't help with that. Now, the Chargers, they have the Dolphins, who we believe they can beat, but the Colts are number one. I think we would favor the Colts over the Chargers, but then they got the Vikings. So the Chargers can win 2 of those 3. That's in your division alone. Here's the only way they have a little slight chance, because the Texans got the Seahawks, 49ers, and Broncos. Probably going to lose those. So if you lose, you still got a little shot. And then the Bengals, who they're behind, have the Packers, Steelers, and Jets. Probably got them losing 2 of those 3. But the Chiefs have, after this, the Raiders, Commanders, and Bills. Commanders not a pushover. Bills not a pushover. So if you lose this game, we all believe that they'll beat the Raiders, but look at how far behind you fall just in your division by losing this game. You can't fall too far behind because these other teams have favorable schedules where they're going to keep winning. You're just going to keep falling behind. This is a must-win, and they going through the gauntlet. Like you said, the Jag showed they for real. Okay, the Chargers, before all the injuries, they lost to the Chargers. They was looking legit. Lost to Philly, looking legit. The games they're winning is like, but they have to win this because if you fall too far back, it's not looking good. Because they could fall to 2 and 4. The teams they're going to be in the company with is like, we laughing at them
and
right
they
now.
should be 4-2 the next.
That's what
the teams at the top. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
this is a must-win for them for sure.
Yeah, it's a must-win for those exact reasons, but more so for morale.
Yeah.
You need to get that confidence-building win. Those 2 wins that they have this year against the Giants and a Ravens football team that has a lot of injuries and they're playing some bad football right now. This win, and I might be by myself on this, but I still feel like the Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders, even with how much they've struggled this year. I don't think they're ever out.
I think the Chiefs still
won the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That's the crazy part.
I don't think that happening.
Yeah, but that's how we always feel about them. But to confirm that, they need to win this game. This is a must win so that they have that belief and they see, okay, this is that game that we need to get hot. Because after that, they go the Raiders, which I think we're all going to win. Then they go Washington, at Buffalo, bye. Then they come back and go at Denver and the Colts.
Yes.
That is a tough schedule. Man. They have to win, in my opinion, 4, maybe even 5 of those 6 games. For sure. You have to come out and win because if you don't, to your point, the Broncos are going to keep winning. And the Chargers have a chance to keep winning, and their schedule is not as tough. So, I think the biggest thing for them for a must-win is more so morale. You can't look at the schedule as a team. You focus on 1 week at a time. But for the Chiefs right now, they need to get this win so they can get things going and create that spark so they can get hot through these next 6 games.
The Chiefs are not going to the Super Bowl. But
Amen, Skip. Amen.
The Chiefs will beat Detroit on Sunday night at home because they pretty much have to.
Yeah.
And this is weird about every time I evaluate somebody's body of work through 5 games, every time Baltimore pops up on their schedule that they beat Baltimore, I'm now questioning every win against Baltimore. Like Detroit went to Baltimore and played what I thought was the game of the year. It's like they played the perfect game, and they pulled it off 38-30. And now I look at Baltimore like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Looking like anybody could do that.
Like the defense, even when they were healthy. At Buffalo on opening Sunday night, they give up 41. They're up, obviously the Ravens are up 40-25 after 3 quarters, and they lose 41-40 because healthy, the defense was skeptical. It was highly questionable. And now I look at Detroit's body of work and I say, okay, so they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, opening Micah Day at Green Bay, and they got blown off the field. They got buzzsawed in half by Micah's Green Bay Packers on his first game after he got introduced last coming out of their tunnel. Okay, so I eliminate that one. They bounce back. They beat the Bears 52-21. Okay, pretty impressive. And then at Baltimore 38-30. Then it's Browns 34-10. And then it's at what's left of the Bengals 37-24. My point is, I'm not sold on Detroit because they lead the league in scoring. Their defense is 17th in points allowed, even though Pro Football Focus seems to love their defense for reasons I can't figure out. But I'm skeptical about Detroit so far. I'm just not sure they're that. I'm not sure they're the best team in the NFC, or a lot of power rankings have them now at the top. So, look, I'm not a Mahomes guy. I know you just gaga over Patrick Mahomes, but okay. But to me, I was impressed with them last night. I was, because that guy can coach defense. Everywhere he's been, Coach Spags, it's just that they play smart. They play nasty defense. They hit people. They're always in the right place at the right time, and I can't write them off. I just don't think they're going to go win the Super Bowl or even get to the Super Bowl. But at home, to your point on the schedule, I'm looking. It's like death row is coming up, man. You better do this one at home on a Sunday night at Arrowhead. You better do that one, and I think they will.
It's like the NFL said: if the Chiefs get it this year, we can't say nothing else, because they putting them through the gauntlet. But to your point, this win will be similar to the Jags win. Like, this is one of those, like, we got to get this win. It'll get us over the hump.
Do you have them winning this weekend?
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them winning.
2 for the Chiefs. You have them winning this weekend?
I'm torn on that. I think Jared Goff is playing some really good football right now.
He is.
I think the Lions are better than what you're saying right now, Skip. I am sold on them. It's tough to go against the Chiefs at home, but just to be different, I'm going to go the Lions. I think the Lions win this game.
Okay.
Chiefs are 2.5.
I needed all y'all to pick something so I could switch.
I know. Now we know the secret. Now we know the secret.
Yeah.
I know. Amon-Ra's playing some good football too.
Yeah, he is. He really is. That defense was good. You got to give credit to Johnny Morton. I mean, there was a lot of questions when Ben Johnson left. Are they going to be able to keep up that same success?
Yeah.
Regardless of who the opponents are, he stepped in flawlessly, and they've been playing some really high-level football.
Okay, let's talk about the breaking news that I shared earlier, because Joe Flacco has gone to the Flacco to Skip. So Joe Flacco has gone to the Bengals, and I think putting a 40-year-old man behind that O-line, that feels like elderly abuse. I don't know. I'm like, wow, I'm nervous for him. But does this make Shedeur QB2? That's not finalized. That's not yet confirmed. And so Dillon Gabriel is also up for Rookie of the Week. You told me that earlier before the show. So, Cody, how many games will Dillon Gabriel last?
It depends on how he plays, obviously. And I thought he played decent in the other day against the Vikings. I really did. And I know I watched the show, and I know you guys were back and forth. He did. To be a rookie, to go overseas, to play in that environment, to make your first start.
Have you ever played abroad?
I never played, but I was a backup when I went abroad.
Yes, it's a lot. It's hell, man. I'm telling you.
And on top of that,
I don't care how long you've been playing.
You're playing a Brian Flores defense, and that's no easy task. So I thought he played. I wouldn't say great. I don't think he solidified himself as a starter. He didn't do anything to separate himself, but he played decent enough to earn himself another start. And they did exactly what I thought they were going to do when we went over the game plan last week. A lot of short, quick game, get the ball out of his hands. Let's roll the pocket. His first touchdown was rolling to the left. Let's get him out to the left. He's a better athlete than people give him credit for. A lot of easy concepts. There weren't a ton of, work left to right, go full field, kickback, reset, making checks at the line. A lot of protected runs, especially down in the red zone, meaning that there's 2 tight ends in, a fullback. Let's go some power runs so you don't have to re-identify, make different checks at the line of scrimmage if they bring pressure. They did a lot of that. One thing they do need to improve on, though, and that he needs to get better on, is pushing the football down the field. They have to open up the offense a little bit more. They only average 5.5 yards per pass.
It's ridiculous.
And you know, as a defense, if they start doing that, what are you doing? I'm sitting on routes.
Yep.
I'm sitting there as a deep. And the Vikings started doing that in the second half.
They're not going nowhere.
Especially on that third down.
Yeah.
On a lot of those third downs, they're sitting on routes. They're catching receivers. They're not worried about the go ball over the top. So they have to add that into the play. He also needs to be a little bit better with his accuracy. And he had some open guys on third down to extend drives to really put the game away. And he overthrew some, and then he threw one short to Judy. That was a one-hopper, and he had another open route. So you've got to work on that. That will come with time. But overall, I thought he played decent. I think the C grading everybody gave him, I think that was right around where it should be.
We had a couple Ds on the panel.
Well, I think a C average was decent for his first start. But with that being said, going forward, now they play at Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Then they play home against Miami. Yeah. Then they play at New England. After that, they have a bye. If they go 0-3 and 0-4 overall with Dylan Gabriel before they get to the bye, that's when I would make the change to give Shedeur Sanders a start. After that happens, because you can't justify. Even if, I'm sorry, what?
During the bye week, make the change?
Yes, because now you give Shedeur 2 weeks to prepare. He hasn't got a ton of reps with the ones. Probably hadn't got really any reps with the ones at practice. So you have to have that 2-week window if you're going to give him an opportunity. Coming out of the bye, they play the Jets, who are struggling right now. That would be a good game for him to come in and play. But overall, if you're Kevin Stefanski, it is going to be tough to justify being 1-7 and Dylan Gabriel goes 0-4 and say, nope, we're sticking with him. But that's where my concern comes in a little bit, is because Stefanski or Gabriel is Stefanski's guy. And I don't know if he's going to be ready to give up on him after 4 games.
Agreed.
I don't know if he's going to say, all right, this experiment's over, let's throw Shedeur in there. I think if he's playing decent and played like he did against Minnesota, even if they are losing these games, I think he will give him the bye week to self-scout, to learn a little bit, and then go back against the Jets. I don't think it's the right decision, but I could see that happening with Stefanski because, quote-unquote, Gabriel is his guy. But the other thing against that is Gabriel's not a first-round pick. He's a third-round pick. Yeah, he was a third-round. Shedeur's a fifth-round. But if he was a first-round pick, then it's all right. All right, Gabriel's our guy no matter what. Shedeur's not going to get a chance. But the fact that he's a third-round pick, that tells me, or that gives me hope that maybe we will see Shedeur if they don't win these games. And look, I'm not rooting against Dylan. I hope he plays well. I hope he does some things well. He's a good kid. But if you go 0-4 in your first 4 starts, I think it's time to give Shedeur the start going into the bye.
I know Skip got a lot, so I'll be quick. I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
My only concern, or what I believe, is it's really kind of going to come down to, because when you have a quarterback in, decisions are being made, not always just off the best thing for the team.
No.
It's almost like if them calls are coming from up top and Stefanski and that seat is getting hot and then that crowd is getting loud, we could see Shedeur sooner than the bye week.
Okay.
The best thing for him would be after the bye week because I want it to be fair. Create something for him where now he has all of this time, because he's not going to leave and go. So he's going to be in that building because he's a football head. That's who he is.
Yeah.
So you give him time to put something together for him, and then now we can see he's behind the O-line, run game, what do you like, what don't you like, this and this. That's the best thing for him. However, if that seat get hot, we might see him sooner than them 4 games, depending on how Dylan is playing. My only thing is, it's a point you made. I think that everybody agreed is the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't believe Shedeur should be the number 2 right now because a lot of people's like, well, Shedeur should be moved up to number 2. No. I think nothing changes just because Joe Flacco is there. Shedeur, if he goes, stay where he's at.
Okay.
When he goes in, go straight to number 1.
Yes.
Because if he goes to number 2, Skip, something happens and they pull him, now Shedeur's coming into a game with no game plan.
Yeah.
But you're acting like the Browns really want what's best for Shedeur. I think like Cam Newton's come on and said that they're trying to sabotage Shedeur. You're setting this all up like he needs time. They want him to progress. I don't think Stefanski wants Shedeur to excel. It's going to make him look bad, right?
Well, I ain't been on the sabotage bandwagon. I wasn't on it during the draft. I don't believe it's a sabotage. Now, I hate the way they're handling it. You're not protecting the kid. You're not protecting either one of them.
So you think the Browns want him to
I don't think they're protecting either one of them. But I'm saying if you put him in, the best thing to do, This is the Cleveland Browns. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the other 25 people here in the world watching agree the Cleveland Browns don't handle stuff well. We're talking about what the best thing to do is.
Yeah.
I don't believe that he should not be the number 2 simply because it's still putting him in a bad spot. If they do take out Dillon, he's going to have to come into a game and take over a game that's not – the plan ain't built for him. Him and Dillon are 2 different quarterbacks. You built the plan around the quarterback. So if Shedeur comes in, he should go from 3 straight to 1. Don't put him at 2 because a lot of people think, oh, he's the number 2. That means next up. He could be next up at 3. Put Bailey Zappi at 2.
Yeah.
So if something happens, let him go out there and get his head beat in. Don't let Shedeur get his head beat in.
But how is that fair to Bailey Zappi?
You don't care about Bailey Zappi?
Let him get his head kicked.
Yeah, let him get his head beat in. Listen, this.
Just to finish the game is what Gerald
Bailey
said.
Zappi was brought in.
Get us out of this one.
Bailey Zappi was brought in to run the practice squad and all that. Shedeur was drafted.
Okay.
So we believe in what he can do. Maybe we drafted him way too late. I still believe 5th round is way too late for him to be drafted by anybody. But we drafted him. Bailey Zappi was just kind of brought in to,
If I'm dying,
But Shedeur should go from 3 straight to 1. I believe it should be handled just like Cody said.
Yeah.
Let Dillon get these games out the way, give him the bye week, and then a week to plan, and now we can give him a fair shot. But if you put him at number 2 right now, and something happens to Dillon or he goes to finish a game, now he go in and you give, again, the media a chance to say, see, look at what happened. He did this and he didn't do that. That's not fair.
You don't want that to be your opportunity.
I don't want his opportunity to be where you didn't give him a fair shake.
Yeah, because first impressions matter in the NFL.
That's what I'm
People are going to immediately put a label on you on those first couple
Sorry, Bailey Zappi, you had your fair shake.
Yeah.
You didn't start a lot of games.
Oh, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Tredeur's going to get his shot, make it fair.
And on top of that, and I said the same thing last week, is going into that week as the number 2, maybe 1 to 2 reps,
That's
period. And you don't have timing with Judy and Njoku and all these other guys. You don't have that timing, and then you get thrown into a bad spot with a small little emergency section for the backup, and you're trying to find that in real time against a good defense.
And what do you think, Skip?
I thought you were going to be quick. That's what you said.
I'm
looking at my watch. That was 15 minutes ago.
That was quick.
That was quick,
right? My God. Never heard anything like it. Bailey Zappi was once drafted by Bill Belichick to replace Tom Brady. And if Belichick loved him, trust me, Stefanski loves him. And he will be elevated. I think he will be elevated to number 2, not because of what you said, because he thinks he's better than Shedeur. He has no use for Shedeur. It's going to take the owner stepping in and saying no to Stefanski, who I think is going to be on the way out after this year. I'm not calling for his firing. I'm just saying the handwriting's on that wall. He's been there long enough. So Jimmy Haslam will say it's Shedeur time at some point. But I'm going to tell you what tears me up about this. I'm looking at this schedule, and you realize, let me pull my notes out here. Dylan Gabriel. Okay, so here's what they have. They have the 4th easiest schedule remaining, Cleveland Browns do. They have what Pro Football Focus ranks the number 1 defense in pro football. They have a draft, not to mention Shedeur, who could be the greatest draft pick in the history of draft picks if you ever give him his chance, because he will perform if given the opportunity. But I'm looking at this draft class, and they took Mason Graham with the 5th overall pick. He can play. He's a stud. He maybe he's not quite you, but he's in the ballpark of you. And he might be able to turn into a quasi-you at some point. And then Carson Schlesinger out at UCLA.
Yeah, linebacker. Good player.
He just might be the defensive rookie of the year.
He can ball.
He can ball. And then they had another 2nd-round pick because of the Travis Hunter trade. And Quinshon Judkins had a legal issue and didn't get to play until the 3rd game. And I'm looking at what he's done in his 3 games. 94 yards, 82 yards, 110 yards. He can tote the rock. What I'm saying is that Harold Fannin Jr., all he does is just get open at tight end. He was their 3rd-round pick. This draft class is starting to percolate. So this is my point from the start. And I know it's pie in the sky, but if if Shedeur Sanders had been allowed to start from game one, this team would be the talk of the NFL right now because they would have won some games that they didn't win. They would have won at, where were they, in London? They would have beaten Minnesota in London with Shedeur at quarterback. And I've told you how much I like Dillon Gabriel, and he's a great kid. He's not a good kid, he's a great kid. But he's not Shedeur. Shedeur is better than Cam Ward, and he will be considerably better than Dillon Gabriel will ever be able to be at 5'11" tall. The point is that with the fourth easiest schedule, it scares me because Stefanski is going to fight for his life and his job and his draft pick, a third-round pick in Dillon. He's going to fight for him, and they might be able to steal a game here and there and keep Dillon afloat, if not Bailey Zappi afloat at some point. So I'm not loving this for Shedeur unless Jimmy Haslam just steps in and says, okay, that's enough. We have to give the people what they want because, as I keep saying, he is the most popular and famous third-string quarterback in the history of the league, and it ain't even close.
True. Yeah.
Okay, so it tears my guts out to watch what's happening to Shedeur with a chance. This is on a silver platter for somebody to take the reins. The vets on this team love Shedeur, and they would rally around him. They would be inspired by him. They would all lift the levels of their games. This team has a chance with the fourth easiest remaining schedule. They could get on a roll. They could win several games you don't think they could have. So to me, I'm happy Flacco's gone. I agree with your point. Talk about dying on a hill. He might die on the hill behind the Bengals offensive line, right? But that's how desperate they are because they're still saying, we might be able to steal this division because it's so up in the air. It's so wide open right now. Well, the Browns could make a run. I'm not sold on the Steelers, and obviously the Ravens are a disaster. So what they're saying that, they're saying, give us Flacco. We might have a chance.
Yeah.
Because Jake Browning, I don't know what happened to him. I liked him last year.
I did too.
He just lost it. And once you lose it for a bad team, you can't. It's just hard to get it back, as you well know.
Yeah.
It's just hard. So I get their desperation move, and I wanted to be happy about this, but Bailey Zappi's still lurking somewhere in the background.
So you think if Dillon Gabriel doesn't play well, there's still a chance they're going to play Zappi before they play Shedeur?
I do. If it's Stefanski's call, I promise you he has no use for Shedeur on or off the field. On or off.
I'm with you on that, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's going to be his call.
It's not going to be.
His seat is so hot. If Dillon don't play good, forget all that Bailey Zappi. He's in.
Okay.
I hope because if you do that,
heck no.
Two things are going to happen. One, you're going to lose the city, and two, you're going to lose the locker room.
The city.
If Bailey Zappi no one's going to before Shedeur,
And I've been in Cleveland before when those Browns fans look. They are faithful. They are loyal. We were 0-14 on Christmas Eve against the Chargers, and damn it, that crowd was sold out and that dog pound was loud.
Wow.
They are a great fan base.
Did you
they
play
are
that
passionate.
game?
I did. Okay. I came in that game. Yeah, RG3 got hurt, and I ended up coming in, and we won.
Go Cody.
You won?
It was our only
That was your
2016. We got one. We got one.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we got one. But here's what I'll say. I'll say this. I think regardless of how Dillon plays, you still have to play Shedeur. Unless he throws 3 touchdowns every game, and they go in every game, I don't think that's going to happen. But you need to see what you have in the future. Let Dillon play these next 4. Even if you get him through the bye, let him play 5, whatever.
Yeah.
After that, you have to let Shedeur play. I hope it doesn't come too late to where everyone's injured, everyone's checked out, and no one's really trying anymore. He doesn't get a fair shot.
Agreed.
But I think you have to play both Gabriel and Sanders and see what you have going forward. Because, again, it's not like Dillon Gabriel was a first-round pick. We're not talking about a first-round investment to where it's like, all right, this is our guy no matter what. We're riding with him for the next 3 years regardless. It's a 3rd-round pick, and you have a 5th-round pick. I know that getting drafted earlier,
but there are 50 slots between.
They are skipped, but at the end of the day, those day 2, day 3 picks don't carry as much weight as a day 1 pick. No. You know this. A first-round pick, and you don't play well, you're going to get multiple opportunities over and over and over. A 3rd-round pick, you might get 1 or 2, and it might be for the same team. You might not get another shot somewhere else. So you have to make the most of it. But I think even if Gabriel is playing well this year, you let Sanders play also and see what you have going forward and which one is going to be the guy.
To be honest, Skip, none of us believe that Dillon did anything to move the needle.
No.
C's and D's was his grade.
Yeah.
If he does that again.
And again.
Just no. Just one more time.
Okay.
12 coming in.
You think so?
Absolutely.
If he plays like he did on
If he played like what he just did over there, because my grade was based off the level of difficulty.
Yeah.
You know, in school they grade on the curve.
Yeah.
I graded on the level of difficulty. When I'm grading, I'm like, okay, they had to travel, go overseas, all this, the defense he's facing, whatever. Y'all back home now.
Yeah.
If
no
you
more
do that
curve,
again,
no more curve.
especially he can do that. I don't care if he throw 2 touchdowns. He not pushing the ball downfield. That ain't
you can't win
that
like
ain't
that.
enough.
Can't win like
so that ain't okay. We kind of seen you are who you are because he played 64 games in college, 63 started.
He
so
did.
you are who you are. So if you do that twice, that's enough for me.
But my concern is I don't think Stefanski will pull him after 2 games. If he plays like he did last week, I guarantee you Stefanski's going to keep leaving him
If
in.
it's his call.
If it's his call.
Yeah.
If
That's
it's
what
his
I'm
call.
saying. I don't think
he's
it's
going
gonna
to keep
be.
giving him
I think
opportunities.
that seat gonna be, and they gonna be like, come on, dog, it's time.
Okay.
Like we waited long enough.
Well, let's move on to a winning team this season. We'll find out what happens with Shedeur. Obviously, we want him to play, but the Bucs are looking great so far this season, and Baker Mayfield, a potential MVP candidate. Yeah, you love the Bucs. You love Baker Mayfield. So let's get to talking because Akib always loves to point out the lack of success in the playoffs for Baker. So, Gerald, I want to know, predict the Bucs record and how far they'll make it in the playoffs this year.
13-4 going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I have enough to say. I picked the Bucs before the season to get to the Super Bowl. What I've seen from them so far, with how Baker's playing, the way he's finishing out these games,
a hot take.
the worst I see us going is 12-5. We're good enough to be 13-4. Mike is gonna get healthy. CG's gonna play better. McMillan's gonna get better. We're gonna get
There's no
Bucky
bias
back.
in this
We're
at all?
gonna get Bucky. No, I'm going. I tell you, Baker played. I picked him to win MVP before the season. How you win MVP? 13-4, number 1 seed.
That would
MVP
do
Baker.
it.
We going to Super Bowl.
Yeah, that would
I'm done. Y'all take it.
I
am a hater.
No, I have 13-4 also.
Yeah,
And let me
Cody.
tell
Are
you
you
why.
two
Come over to the
agreeing?
dark side. Fire the cannons,
Let me tell
Cody.
you why. I like Baker a lot too. I think he's playing some great football. I mean,
Is he top 5?
Is he top 5 right now?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, with
Yeah,
how he's playing right now, yes, he's top 5.
Is he clutcher than Matt Stafford
No, I'm not putting him in. I'm not putting. Wait a minute.
all right.
All time or this year?
this year?
This year.
Yeah.
yeah,
This year,
come
yeah. I
on.
mean, he has multiple game-winning drives, but all time, no. I'm still riding with Stafford. But I'll tell you why. So these next 6 games are important, right?
Yeah.
They go 49ers
Yeah.
at Detroit,
Yeah.
at the Saints. Then they have a bye to reset, get healthy.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
go New England, at Buffalo, at the Rams. That is a tough 6-game stretch.
Yep.
But I think they can win 3 of those. Even if they win half, I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. They win 3 games, then they go 7-4 going into the last 6. Those 6 games, I expect them to run the table. I don't
I
expect
agree.
them to lose one of those games. They go Cardinals, Saints, Falcons at home. Then they go at Carolina, at Miami, and then again they play home against Carolina. If they can win all of those 6 games, that'll put them at 13-4. But where we do disagree is I do think that they lose in the NFC Championship to the Detroit Lions. I think
Okay.
the Lions win the NFC this year. I think they play the
eye
Bills in
roll.
the Super Bowl, and I got the Bills taking it all. But I do think with Baker Mayfield, even with the first-round bye, I think they lose in the NFC Championship to the
Remember
Lions.
last year we went up there to Detroit with almost our whole team.
Hey,
you know,
yeah.
and we
This isn't last year, man. It's the new year.
We're going to be a number 1 seed. They got to come see us. Go ahead, Skip.
We'll see.
This scares me.
It should.
We all
But
agree.
I did this last night, and I'm going to stand by it, even though we don't have 4 today, but we do have 3. I don't know what your opinion. Are you in concrete yet?
I
about
don't
the
think they're
Bucs?
going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right.
But I gave them 12-5.
12 and
Okay.
5. Okay. I have
Don't
to
hate me,
give
Gerald.
it up. I have to give huge props to my fellow Oklahoma City native, Southeast High School, Northwest High School, because you called it before it happened, and it is happening right before your very eyes. I am right with both of you on 13-4, and I'm definitely with you on run the table in the last 6
Yeah.
because it's on a platter.
It is.
Arizona, New Orleans, Atlanta on a Thursday night at home, at Carolina, at Miami, Carolina. I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And you're going to do what Tom Landry always talked about. You have to streak into the postseason. Well, that's a streak, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on you can win 3 of this tough stretch. You can beat the 49ers at home, you can win at the Saints, and you can beat the Patriots at home. Coming out of the bye, you're going to get Mike Evans back out of the bye. I'm pretty sure that's what he's probably circled the date, and that would be the Patriots at home. He does this every year. He pulls his hamstring and he's gone for 5 or 6, and then he's fine, and he'll take you home because he'll be ready to go. Yep. And Chris Godwin will only get stronger and stronger because you can just tell he doesn't have his legs. He doesn't trust it yet because that was horrendous injury. That was career threatening. And Bucky Irving's going to come back. And listen, Jalen McMillan last year was really good for them. I looked up his numbers. He caught 37 last year with 8 touchdowns, led the team. I mean, he's going to come back at some point. They got firepower. And Baker is even shocking me at the level he's playing at because he is flat out just slinging it.
He is playing good football.
And he is the MVP through this point. Okay, so now to the postseason. If you're the 1 seed and you have 2 home games, what's going to tell the tale is right now they're 23rd in points allowed, and you know and I know they're not very good on defense.
Nah.
And it's horrifying. So can you win 2 home games with your offense? Can you win 2 shootouts? Can you win a shootout with Jared Goff in the NFC Championship game? It's iffy to me. It's like, boy, I don't know. It depends how healthy they are. But Baker at home is going to be hard to beat. So I'm with you on, boy, it is set up for them to go into the Super Bowl with 2 home games.
Well, to your point, the home games, the reason number 1 seed would matter is because defensively you have the crowd behind you. When you got to travel, you don't have the crowd with you. So operation changes
100%.
and everything. As a defensive line, you can cheat the count, you can do different things defensively because you got the crowd behind you.
We're on the island as an offense.
So that helps. So
But
that's why being at home, it's not a lot. But
if you told me Kinsey could come back, but he can't. He's gone.
That's why they need to go. I know this sounds crazy, and I know it's not going to happen because Jason Light has done a great job of signing and drafting great guys. With his reputation and how he left Vegas, go get Christian Wilkins. I understand I don't like the story around him. He can still play. He can still play. You need another guy to tackle. We really need an edge rusher, but
need an edge rusher.
Whatever.
And you can't just snap your fingers at the trade deadline.
I'll tell you one thing though, whoever they play going forward or in the playoffs, do not piss Baker Mayfield off pregame.
Yeah, don't piss him off.
When he was in the tunnel.
Be like, you've been looking nice.
Going back to that Tom Brady thing we talked about, if you can give that man just a little bit more motivation to make you an enemy, whether you're a fan, you're on the team, you're the water boy on the sideline, he is going to make you pay, and he's going to take advantage of that. So
he ain't going to make up a story about it like Jerry. He going to tell you,
yeah, I called him that. I will say this, though. The one thing that concerns me is if they do go 13-4 and they run the table those last 6 games and they get on a heater and they're playing great football and then you give them a bye after they're getting hot, we see teams struggle. We saw the Lions last week. We see teams struggle when you're hot and then you have a bye going into the playoffs and you come back even at home having to get hot again and pick things back up because you get a little rusty and your body's not used to taking those hits and you're not in game mode. It can be tough.
But I can't believe we're projected all the way out to you've already got them. You better be ready for your bye week, right? Like you've got.
Well, we're predicting what their record is and where they go in the playoffs. So you guys,
you play them the first half. Like a lot of people will sit, like especially they got the number 1 seed.
Yeah, you're saying solidified towards the end.
A lot of people sit that last game.
Yeah, play them. That's a good point too, because then you might
play them.
Then you miss 2 weeks.
Yeah, play them.
Okay,
but it's Carolina at home.
Play them.
You don't worry about injury.
No, heck no. You can't do that. It's football. You're
already solidified as the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, but now you
get someone
2 weeks
hurt
off of football where most likely when the next time you play, you're going to play somebody that's still been playing.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why I said just play in the first half. Like last year, I felt like instead of sitting Saquon, they should have let him play the first half, try and break their record, and then let him sit down. Like I'm just sitting that last game. I'm just
well, it worked.
They won the gym.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, actually, 50% of the chat says the furthest the Bucs will go is the divisional round.
Wow.
Okay.
50% of the chat is
50%.
haters.
Baker hate.
They're all backing Akeem because we all know if Akeem was on this couch, he'd be hating hard.
Yeah, he would be.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap it here, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you underdog. We will see you guys on Thursday, the same time, 11:30 a.m. PST, 2:30 EST. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love ya.
Whoa, whoa.